What's up, dudes? It's your boy Happy Chappy here. Look at today we're gonna do basically just a standard tree farm. This one's pretty simple to build, it's pretty simple to understand, and it is effective, but the only thing it is effective for is oak trees. Now, birch trees like this, for some reason, birch trees, they need a 2x2 area all around it in order to grow from. So birch tree, or any other tree farm basically, other than oak, is that you're going to need to somehow set up some sort of a double piston assembly with another double piston assembly in order to just make this work. So for now, we're going to stick to this one here. Now, you're going to get three things basically in this video. So in this video, you're going to get your regular tree farm, the extender that you need in order to push the blocks out farther, so that way you don't have to farm as fast. And then if you want to set this up for an auto collection system, we also have a TNT dropper. Now, this TNT dropper, this thing's amazing. So we'll get to that after those. The first thing you're going to need for the tree farm is 5 pistons, 2 sticky pistons, 6 observers, some redstone, a comparator, 2 redstone repeaters, some building blocks, I'd go with 11 or 12 of them, a dispenser, a pressure plate of some sort, and then some bone meal. So let's grab these items and get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is decide which direction your tree farm is going to go. Now mine is going to go out this way, so dig yourself out a 4x4 pit that is 1 block deep, just like you see there. Next, what you're going to do is come to the opposite side from which you are going to be pushing the trees out, and go to this corner here and put down a sticky piston with a block next to it. Dig down 1 block and crouch and aim up at the corner and put an observer with its face going up. Do the same thing over here. Dig down 1 block, put a temporary block down, and point another observer going to the sky, just like you see, like that. Now, one thing I forgot to put into the chest is a piece of dirt, so you're going to want to put a piece of dirt that you collect on top of the sticky piston there, and then fill in these 2 holes. Next, what you want to do is you want to put down a block right next to this observer here, and then put a comparator on top facing outwards, just like you see. And this is what you should have so far, is a sticky piston going backwards, with an observer, another observer, and a comparator on top of that. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to put down a temporary block with another block on top of it, and then a piece of redstone on top of that. Come around to the front here, aim into that redstone, and put a piston down with 4 more on top of it, so you have 5 pistons in total. Above the pistons, put down 2 blocks with 1 coming out, and this is what you should have so far. Next, you're going to put a temporary block down on top of that observer with a dispenser on top of it, and then remove that block. And then on this piece of dirt here, put down a sticky piston facing into the observer with an observer with its red dot going up. Come around to the back side here, aim down into that piece of redstone, put down an observer with its dot going up, another piece of redstone there, then an observer again, and then another piece of redstone. Come around to the front here, and in front of this block here, place down a block and your pressure plate with redstone going into the sticky piston. When you activate that, you should see, or you should hear, the dispenser starting to fire. Next, what you want to do is come around to the back side here, and on that piston, put an observer with its red dot facing up, just like you see. And that is your entire tree farm assembly. What you want to do is fill this with some bone meal, maybe make a bone meal farm, and have the hoppers feed down into the dispenser if you want to, so that way you have an unlimited supply. And if we test the farm, you should see now that if we put a block here, the entire system fires. And if we stand on top of this pressure plate, you can see that it activates the piston, pushing the observer under, and it automatically dispenses the bone meal while you're standing here. So if we grab some trees here, some oak saplings, You can see that if we just stand on top of this, place down our oak sapling, and there you have it. We have an automatic tree farm. We can do that again. And there you go. Tree farm is complete. Now, because pistons only like to push out about 8 blocks, or sorry, 12 blocks I think it is, what we're going to do is we're going to set up another extender here. So these trees are going to come down about 8 or 9 blocks and then get pushed in that direction over there. So I'll show you how to set up that right now. Now this is what you're going to need for the extender down at the other end. You're going to need 5 pistons, 2 observers, some redstone, and just a single block. What you want to do is you want to come around to the back side here, and in the back of this redstone you want to put a block down just like that, so that stays as a single entity, and then run some redstone out and around. Put a repeater, leave it on number 1, and then come down 4 pieces of redstone, put down your second repeater, set it to 4 ticks, and then come down 6 more blocks here with your redstone. Put down a solid block here with a piece of redstone going into it, and then do your piston assembly. So aim into that piece of redstone there and put 1 piston and then 4 more on top of it. So you have 5 high, and then repeat the same thing that you did on the back side here. So aim down into that piece of redstone there and put an observer with a redstone on the back of it, and then do the same thing on top of that one. Observer with redstone, and you are set and ready to go. Now if you only see 4 blocks here, what you want to do is you want to raise this 1 block up 1 more. So put a block on top of it and then remove that one. And now if we fire the tree farm one more time, what you should see is that this will actually go 5 high instead of 4. So let's stand on top of our plate. And there you have it. We have a 5 high block. So let's push these all the way out until they meet that that assembly there, that piston line up there. We're going to do 2 more. I'm just going to add some blocks on top of here so that we can see the whole 5 pistons firing. And there, as you can see, that when the blocks get down in front of these pistons, they start to move this way. So let's do that a few more times until we get down to about 8 or 9 blocks here. Okay, and there you have it. That's your tree farm basically all set up and ready to go. Now you can stand here and cut all of these down if you want to, but for now I'm going to show you how to set up this TNT dropper, like I said, so that this whole system is completely semi-auto basically. So what you're going to need is, you're going to need some building blocks, a dispenser, 2 sticky pistons, a redstone repeater, a block of redstone, 2 comparators, some redstone dust, 3 hoppers, a block of obsidian, some water, probably 9, at least 8 or 9 sources of water, a hopper, and 2 chests. Okay, now in order to build this TNT dropper, what you're going to need is you're going to need some sort of catch system for it. So what I would do is I would count down 9 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And this is where we're going to put our piece of obsidian. And then clear out 5 blocks on this side of the obsidian, 4 blocks on this side of the obsidian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 blocks on the back side of the obsidian, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 blocks on the front side of the obsidian, and then connect all those squares there. And then fill in all these open sections here. So what you should be left with is a nice little area like this. And then you're going to grab your water sources and place water sources down on the back side of all of what you see here. And now you should have a nice water stream that flows this direction. Now what you can do is you can set up a hopper chain if you want to. So you can remove these blocks here, and set up a hopper chain that goes this way. So come down here, place yourself a double chest. See there. Alright, we're going to do that one closer. That way it's right at the end, just like you see. And then run your hoppers all the way down like this. That way everything that drops into this pool here will flow down over top of the hoppers and then be sent over to this chest here, as you can see. And there's our hopper. Now what you want to do is come to this piece of obsidian here and build up 7 blocks on top of it. Put a block on either side, then a block in the front. Remove these blocks here in the middle. Place down a temporary block on the side and put your dispenser so that it goes into this hole, and remove that block and then put a hopper going into the dispenser with a chest on top. Doesn't really matter which way you do it, to be honest with you. And then on the back of this dispenser, build yourself a 3 wide by 3 deep platform. Put down 2 pieces of redstone with a repeater going into it, and then a block on the back of the repeater. And then from this corner here, or this side here, come down 5 blocks and make that double wide. Put another block on the end, just like that. Now, in between these 2 blocks, what you want to do is you want to put down a temporary block with a hopper going into it. Remove the block and then place the other hopper going into that hopper, so that way the hoppers feed into each other. Place a comparator going out from each hopper. A piece of redstone in each corner beside the blocks here, and then in front of, and then beside this comparator, put down a sticky piston on each side with your piece of redstone stuck to one of them. And that is your TNT dropper done right there. So let's grab ourselves some TNT. Okay, and we'll put it into the chest here, which will feed down into the hopper and then go into the dispenser. And now what you want to do is you want to take 9 blocks and put them in this hopper here, but first we're going to set up the activator for this whole thing. So what you want to do is you want to come out 2 blocks and then build yourself a staircase that goes down here with a repeater somewhere in the middle. We'll do a repeater here in the middle. So we'll run our redstone down with our repeater going up, set to 1 tick. And we'll have our redstone come down and into a block here with a lever on it. And if we power the lever, it should go up into the redstone, which will then repeat the signal all the way up into this hopper here. Now, in order to get the timing right for this, you want to put about 9 blocks inside this hopper, and those 9 blocks will take about 3 seconds to transfer over to the other hopper there, which will give us a 3-second timer on our TNT dropper here. Now, because this here is lit up and activated, it's not actually going to fire yet, so we'll put our 9 in here, and you'll see it pushes the sticky piston over. And if we come down and fire this switch, which will turn off the redstone, you'll see our TNT drops. Our items start to get passed back and forwards between the hoppers here. And when one hopper gets full, it switches over, and then the next hopper will get full, and on every 3 seconds you basically get a TNT dropper. If you want this to be extended, all you got to do is just turn the system off, which is powering it, basically bringing power up to the system, and you see it stops, and just put more blocks inside this here, so we'll time that off. That's actually like 7 seconds. So for now I'm going to power this back up, shutting the system down, and I'm just going to switch this back to 9. So basically the more blocks you have in the hopper, the longer it takes to switch over, which is the longer the timer will go. Now if we put this on here, and we can put ourselves a little sign here on top of the switch, so that way we know which way is on and off when we activate it. And if we just basically stand here with our oak tree, we've got enough bone meal in there to fire. We just stand on here, plant our trees, wait for them to grow out. Activate our TNT when it gets close. And there we have it. The magic is happening. And if we go over here now and check our chest, you can see we've already got 35 logs in there. So that is it, you guys. That is the basic build. Now if you get any stalls in the growth, like you just seen there, usually it's just this block here that you have to remove. You can see if we just dig up and get that block out of the way, we almost have instant tree growth. If you ever have any stalls or delays inside the trees, just move that piece of leaf that is up there above that piston, and you'll pretty much get tree growth almost instantly every single time. Now you can see the way we placed this TNT dropper here. It is actually on the back side of the tree growth here, or the trees that are getting pushed over. So you should never have any accidents when the TNT falls. It should fall straight down because it gets kind of stuck in there with these 3 blocks here, and it should fall straight down and never actually end up blowing itself up. So you can also push these logs here out 12 blocks, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can push these blocks all the way out to this one here before the system actually gets jammed up. Okay, and there you have it, you guys. There's my tree farm tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.